Let's keep going through this mock draft series. We're picking from every spot in the first round, including a couple from a 14-team league. I don't know what's going to be. We're going to spin the wheel. Michael Bolton.
Thanks, Josh. It's Michael Bolton here, and it's time for another episode of the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast. Let's get to it.
Let's get to it, indeed.
You are Locked On Fantasy, your daily NBA fantasy podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast, brought to you by Basketball Monster. My name is Josh Lloyd and I've been an UNC since I was 16. I'm also the lead fantasy analyst at basketballmonster.com, and today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Head to FanDuel.com to get started. Thank you also for making Locked On Fantasy Basketball your first listen every day. We are free. We are available on all platforms. We've done mock drafts for head-to-head category leagues. We did it at pick 11. Then we spun the wheel, we got to pick 1. Then we spun the wheel again, and we got to pick 10. And there was a lot of consternation about pick 10. Oh, you said not to pick Domantas Sabonis in the first round. Why did you take him? Because I explained. With the first round, I'm trying to mimic what ADP is suggesting. The way that people are drafting. Because I know that you're not... I don't want you to listen only to me. I don't want you to see me do a mock draft and go, this is what Josh did. This is the only way to do it. Absolutely no way. I want to go through and give you ideas of how I view a player, how you can add players to it who I think might be too high or too low, versus don't do this, don't do that, do this, and do this specifically as prescribed. All right, so I wouldn't take Domantas Sabonis in round 1, but everyone is. People are doing it all the time, and people get into my mentions and argue with me about not having him there. So that is how I'm doing it, because it'd be very easy for me to go through these draft picks in the first round and go, well, you know what, Kevin Durant's available at 15, so I would take him at 6, I'd take him at 7, I'd take him at 8, I'd take him at 9, I'd take him at 10, I'd take him at 11, I'd take him at 12. Pretty boring first round, yeah? So that's why I do it. Because if I have someone like Steph or KD who's going outside the first round and I'd take them at 8, then your mock drafts at pick 8 are going to be Steph. That's useless. It's boring. So that's why we're doing it. Cool? We got that. Great. We are doing a draft now that I don't know what it's going to be. We'll see how the wheel brings it up. So let's take a look. All right, so we've done 1, 10, and 11. We've got 13 and 14 in there, so some of these mocks will expand out to be 14-team leagues. Let's click the wheel and see where we end up. All right, we're going to be middle of the pack here somewhere. Okay, we're doing pick 7 for this mock draft. Pick 7, 6, 7. What are we going to do at 7? Who is the ADP leader at 7? I think it's probably... Is it Anthony Davis? Yuck. I don't want Anthony Davis at 7. This is going to be another one of those ones. You said you don't want to take Anthony Davis at 7, but you just took him at 7, so I guess you want him at 7. As I say all that, and Cade Cunningham's actually 7th in ADP. So I guess it's Cade Cunningham that we're doing in this draft. Now, in order to not disrupt the flow of the draft, is what I do at the start of the show. We go through and I'll tell you who is sponsoring today's show. Because today's show is brought to you by Peloton. Peloton is shaping the future of fitness with a brand new Peloton Cross-Training Tread Plus. Powered by Peloton IQ. It's the most advanced equipment yet, designed to give you real-time guidance and endless ways to move. You might be running or lifting, cross-training with your favorite instructors. It's all there for Peloton. It's training reimagined. Peloton is built for breakthroughs with tools that help you plan and stay motivated and reach peak performance. The Peloton IQ system offers real-time strength coaching as well. It tracks your reps, suggests the right weights for you, corrects your form, and makes it safer and more beneficial each time you do it. Plus, the swivel screen enables you to go from the tread to the floor so simply. So let yourself run, lift, flex, and push forward. Explore the new Peloton Cross-Training Tread Plus today at onepeloton.com. All right. So at pick 7, I'm going to take Cade in this draft. We'll get, if you people wondering how you get into a mock draft, that's another common question that I have. Let me answer a couple of common questions. How do you get into a mock draft? I just post them on Twitter and they fill up. Hey, can I see your rankings anywhere? Yeah, surprisingly enough, at the start of the show when I'm the lead fantasy analyst at basketballmonster.com, they're at basketballmonster.com. So that is where you can find my projections for this season. But it always is good to see people who are new to watching this show come in, but that is where you find my stuff. So that's covering off a few of those questions that people ask. We've got 2 more great places that have been sponsoring this show and helped me bring all this content to you. So I'll tell you today that the episode is also brought to you by FanDuel. And with the NFL season here, FanDuel has an offer you don't want to miss. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right, pick a bet, put down $5, and if it hits, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Live in-game parlays, same-game parlays, futures, spreads, totals, whatever it is you want, player props, it's all there on FanDuel. Just win that first $5 bet and you're off and running. So what are you waiting for? Go to FanDuel.com to download the FanDuel app today and get started. And don't forget to gamble responsibly. Today's episode is also brought to you by Monarch Money. Most people can't name all their financial accounts and even what they're worth. So it's 401ks, it's properties, it's investments, whatever it is. If you don't have that full picture of your finances, you can end up leaving money on the table. That is why there is Monarch Money, the all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or on your phone. Monarch is built for people with busy lives. If you've put off organizing your finances, Monarch is for you. It does the heavy lifting for you, linking all of your accounts together, tracking all of your spending, your budgeting, your goals, all in one place. So don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use the code LOCKEDONNBA at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with the code LOCKEDONNBA. Now let's get this draft started. Pick number 7. All right, let's get ready to get into this draft. It is a reminder that ESPN has updated their rankings into the draft room now from the article, so be aware of that. And Yahoo also released a new rankings list, X-Rank. Now, I don't know if I'm going to do a fully revised sleeper show or bust show, but what I do have coming next week is a do not draft show and a must draft show, which will incorporate those new rankings, which I expect will be the last ones that they do. So I don't think I'll redo sleepers and busts, so to speak, but I will include that information of the new rankings next week in some must draft and do not draft shows. I've also got an auction mock coming next week as well. Plus the rest of this series, plus the 240 game, preseason notes, and some other stuff we've got cooking up as well. We're getting ready for this first pick, which I'm going to guess is going to be Jokic, I assume, but it could be Wemby, and it could be okay either way. Well, it's Jokic that goes number 1, then it's Wemby, then a Bob Hawk Tour, good name. Doncic at 3. Then it'll be Shea, I'm going to guess. And then we've seen Giannis go at 4 in a couple of these. Not in this one. It was Shea who goes at 4. Now Russ Maningo. Maningo? I don't know. I guess so. Russ, you were here 5 seconds ago. Don't do me dirty, my guy. Rustafa. There he goes. Giannis at 5. Barry McCock. All right, bro. You had one rule. Do not take Cade. As I said, leave Cade for me. Cade is the 7th guy in Yahoo's ADP. I am taking Cade at 7. Please do not take Cade. Thank you. Anthony Edwards goes at 6. I am taking Cade at 7. All right, so let's build this team around Cade Cunningham, who's looked great in preseason. I love Cade. I'm a little cautious about some of the things with him this season, but whatever. He's great at this spot. If you want to take him at 6, do it. Totally fine. After I took Cade at 7, Anthony Davis went at 8, Trae Young went at 9. I do have reservations about Trae Young at 9. I've said this before. There's a lot of holes in the game overall, but he's still good. Very clearly. Now at 10 is where sometimes this gets pretty interesting. It should be the Harden sort of zone, but you'll see Devin Booker go here in a lot of spots. You'll see, Durant goes. All right, I like that. I like Durant in that area. Someone said to me, how many times are you going to draft Durant in these mock drafts? I go, well, as long as people keep letting him fall to the second round, then I'll draft him. But that's not what happened here. Durant goes at 10. Booker goes at 11. Jimmy Harden goes at 12. And hard to complain too much about that. The Harden-Curry 12-13 turnaround combo is pretty good. I think both of those guys are viable first-round picks. Interesting, Towns has slipped past 13, when normally he does go that 12-13 spot, which again, I think is totally okay to do that. And there he goes at pick 14. All right, we are moving along at a pretty good rate here. Most of this stuff is relatively stock standard, and I think you guys have an idea. And again, if you're going to sit there in your drafts and really panic about what you do at 7, 8, 9, 10, or whatever, any of these options are fine. There's nothing that's incorrect about these moves. It's about then what you do with other picks, and as long as you're not making egregious sort of errors, as Atto Magic takes 25 minutes to take this pick, then it's okay. Donovan Mitchell goes as the timer expires at number 15. Probably marginally early for me. I'm not massively against it. I'm probably going to be in the Josh Giddey, Tyrese Maxey, Amen Thompson, Jalen Johnson range for my pick, I'm guessing. There goes Sabonis, which is also not one that I would do in that area. So who am I going to pick? It is probably going to be Tyrese. Yeah. Amen Thompson just went. Jalen Johnson would be an option. Josh Giddey would be an option. But I'm going to do Tyrese. So I haven't really drafted in any draft, so let's do it. Cade and Maxey to start things off. Really good scoring, solid enough threes, good assists, strong free throws. Obviously, my big man stats are going to be something I need to focus on in the coming rounds. I'm probably almost certain, although Cade's a good blocks guy, Maxey is not. I will almost certainly be punting field goals with this team, so maybe I'm looking at a rebounds and blocks sort of a player. So Miles Turner looks pretty interesting, especially for the blocks. His value is not tied up in field goal percentage, and he's a good free throw guy. After Maxey goes Mobley, then it goes the delicate dancer Alperen Şengün, who is solid enough in that area too. This, to me, I would love like a Kristaps Porzingis. Jalen Johnson goes at 21. I'm obviously, well, maybe it's not obvious, but I'm not going to take Porzingis in round 3, but round 5 he will be on the list for me. Joshie Giddey goes at 22. What did Giddey get updated to on Yahoo on their ranking? 29 he sits at. Okay. All right, I don't know what the big moves have been there. LaMelo Ball, I probably haven't seen LaMelo go that early yet at 23. I'm not, obviously he's playing in preseason. That's fine, we're good. I do worry about ankle preservation when they are bad at the end of the year, which is exactly what happened last season. That is the concern. But the talent is there without really any question. And then goes Paolo Banchero, which is incredibly early at 24, honestly. For a category league, that's really early. Jaren Jackson goes 25. I think he'll be fine to begin the season, honestly. And what I do want to see in this draft is where LeBron ends up going. I would not be taking LeBron inside the first 4 rounds. Honestly, this sciatica thing he's old. We know this. I wouldn't have taken him in the first 2 rounds anyway. And now we have this problem that's apparent. To me, this is not a top 4 round, top 45 player. Brunson is next at 26. I don't particularly like Jalen Brunson there. I would rather Austin Reeves. I would rather Jamal Murray in that area. The other thing I think we need to be prepared for as well in terms of start of the season is Jalen Williams, the Bronco, not being available. I'm pretty sure he won't be available when the season starts, so just be aware of that, which bumps Cason Wallace, the Hong Kong mattress. It bumps his value up to begin the year. Derek White at 27. You feel that's a little bit early, and I understand that. My only worry with White, honestly, is just injuries and preservation. There goes the Bronco at 28. I would have let Jamal Murray is because I'm looking at the name. I would have let him go a little further there. So after the Bronco, we're 1 pick away from me. I think that now, I was going to take Bam, but I can't do that now. I'm still going to look at my bigs. Or do I just... I might... Is Scott Barnes worth it for me here? Hey, I'll take Barnesy there. Helps again with the assists. Give me a really strong assist buffer. I am a little worried about Barnesy's usage this season. His field goals are obviously terrible. It gives me a strong punt field goal-ish sort of build. I do need to make sure I'm getting blocks again, and that is where the Porzingis target will come in. After, I could have taken, Chet just went the next pick. I could have taken Chet there, no worries. I worry about Holmgren's usage, and I worry a little bit about health for Chet at the moment. I think we have to be somewhat concerned about his body, or more importantly, if they go into any preservation type stuff with him, which is why I wouldn't have him quite at that spot. Josh is drafting from 1 draft class. Yeah, I would have taken Evan Mobley as well if I had the chance. There goes LeBron on an auto pick. Why has everyone dropped out here? I would not take LeBron at 32, but good luck to you guys. Tune Squad. Are you just not appearing here either? Why is everyone just not here? This is so frustrating. Oh, well. No, he's here. He took it. Pascal Siakam at 33. The Pacers are obviously in some trouble with McConnell out. I wonder, the guy that I'm watching on that team is John Furphy. He's not a point guard, obviously, but he looks really good. I think he should be probably in the rotation ahead of Ben Shepherd at this stage. I'm very impressed with what, I liked Furphy. I had him as close to a lottery player in his draft. I'm very impressed, and hopefully they give him an opportunity this season. Zion goes right on the tick there on that buzzer at 34, which, of course, is a little early, but I get it. Now, he's on the Giddey and Doncic team, which makes quite a bit of sense. As you can tell, these people with the Giannis pick, they're leaning into the punt free throws as well with Şengün and LeBron, but you don't have to do that way. You do not have to make your free throws bad. Remember that. I'm not saying that's what he's doing, but you don't have to. Wembanyama, LaMelo Ball, and then Jamal Murray in round 3. And now it's the team that took Paolo at 24 is picking at 36. I am incredibly surprised that the guy that I was going to take with my pick, Austin Reeves, is still available. He should have gone by now. There he goes. Denny Avdia goes at 36, Austin Reeves at 37. I like both of those picks. Obviously, Avdia started the next game for the Blazers. That is good to see that they did actually bring Jeremy Grant off the bench. I don't know what they're going to do in the season, but some pretty good evidence there. I want to see if they ever bring Kamara off the bench, because that will be interesting, because it will show some sort of organizational priorities, I think. So let's see. Cooper Flagg goes at 38. Now Bob Hawk Tour is back. Russ Meninjo is not there. What is he doing, my guy? Jimmy Butler at 39. That is just a little early for me. We're also in the Jaylen Brown type territory. That's probably not what I'm going to do. I do want Porzingis, and I will consider Miles Turner. Well, every time. Why does this happen every time? As I say Miles Turner's name, he goes off the board. And there goes Demetrius Morant at 41. All right, let's reassess. It is still too early for Porzingis, I believe. But do I want to wait at 54 to think he'll be there? I think it's touch and go, and then I've got to really assess what I'm doing. So, all right. So what do I do here? Was that Trey Murphy? Okay. I'm just going to, and I don't normally look at him here, but at 43, I'm going to take Jaylen Brown, and I hope that I get Porzingis back the other way around. Brandon Miller and Dyson Daniels were both options for me there. Oh, Jesus Christ. There goes Brandon Miller. Dyson, and this should be an area for people to take Kawhi as well. And Franz Wagner, probably. This is the area where I have guys much more elevated than others. Like I have Asar Thompson and Peyton Pritchard and Jakob Poeltl in this area of drafts. Haven't seen Dyson Daniels go this late in a while at number 45, as I have some water. And then Atto Magic takes Kawhi. Okay. I think it's reasonable to have Kawhi there. I don't love it. I would prefer it one round later for head-to-head. In Roto, no problem there at all. Franz Wagner goes at 47, and I've been seeing Franz a lot in the 30s. This is it to me. This is the right area. This is the more reasonable decision on getting someone like him. Now, I did say that I needed some blocks, which I do. So that's where KP is going to come in for me, and it's not desperation, but it's close enough. Darren Fox at 48, by the way. Dylan Harper available already, so he'll be there opening night. Not sure whether he starts, but he looked great, and I'll continue to double down this. He is already a better prospect than Steph Castle, and they should trade Steph Castle and get a forward out of it. But we'll see. Desi Bane goes at 49. Bane is relatively secure on his floor. I think it's too early for him there, but I'm not going to be outrageously against it. I like the Kobe White selection. At 50, I'd feel better about it if he wasn't currently injured and we had any idea what his timeline was going to be. But we don't. So I've got 3 picks until me. I do think that it's 50-50 whether Porzingis gets to me. This pick won't be Porzingis here. This is going to be Zubats, I'm pretty certain. Let's see how my predictive abilities work. No, Anunoby. Wrong. Damn. I like the Anunoby selection there as well. Maybe Zubats is another guy that I look at. Although he's not a high blocks guy. His strength is rebounds, which I do need. So maybe it's either It's either Porzingis or it's Zubats. And then Vooch is another option for me also. Supersonic just really thinking about this. Well, there goes Vooch, so it won't be him. So, Jim Bob Dingus, you have the opportunity to annoy me. I will... Are you actually joking? There goes Porzingis. Like... Is that like actually for real, for real? That's what the kids say, yeah? For real, for real? Sure, I'll take Zubats. Bro, that is... Alright. Damn it. Alright, so I do... Oh, look, what are we going to do here with this next pick? Jakob Poeltl, maybe? Zach LaVine goes next. This is just way too early for LaVine, in my opinion. Like, there is... Garland's there. You could take Ingram, Poole. Those sort of scoring players. I don't like LaVine here at all. Russ, what are you doing? DeRozan, so he's there. Oh, he's back, the big fella. That is just absolutely two horrendous back-to-back picks in my mind. LaVine and DeRozan. And then Embiid goes. So what does the Embiid... Well, he already took Miles Turner, so I hate this guy. But the rest of his team is strong. We don't have existing injuries or any significant risks there at the moment. So taking Embiid at pick 57 is pretty good. We just literally have no idea about when Embiid is playing or what the situation is, which is obviously frustrating. Bob Hawk Tour takes Jakob Poeltl, so we are seeing Poeltl rise up right now. I am annoyed that Boston's giving us nothing on the Pritchard Simons stuff. They both didn't play game 1, and they both played game 2 and both started, so that tells us absolutely nothing. I still like Pritchard more than Simons quite a bit, but I would love something, an inkling, a sniff, a crumb of information. This guy here who took Paolo Banchero in round 2 is taking Jalen Green at number 60. So I'm not going to be too critical. I am a little bit. But when you're gifted number 1 pick with Nikola Jokic, he's doing a pretty good job of showing how to make it not very good. Although, to be fair, I like the Reeves and Avdia pick. Mark Williams goes next at 61, which is also a pretty good opportunity there, pretty good situation. I guess you could say that having Paolo and Jalen Green on a team with Jokic and Denny actually makes their value useful. And there is a team fit argument to be made there. In an isolation type scenario, I don't like either pick. But I can see how it works. And that's part of the thing with fantasy leagues and category leagues, is that we can give values and ranges and decisions on where someone sits and their value, but it's all to do with what you do with other picks and how you plan it out and how you structure it. Because, like, Paolo might be terrible for other teams, but on a Jokic team, it might actually be really good. That is true. That is a possibility. Brandon Ingram goes at 63. He's normally going in the 80s, but we've seen some really good preseason action for him. What I do want to see is what happens to someone like an Ace Bailey. How high up does he jump after some really strong preseason action? We are also absolutely in the Tyler Hero business coming up pretty soon. I'd like to get him in round 7 if possible. I'm souring on quickly at this spot. Oh, the other one that needs to start going here is Darius Garland. Like, what are we doing? We are getting a little late for Garlo, although he is a bit of a slow ramp guy, which is frustrating. And then Matos Buzelis will go into the queue for me also. So after Russ took DeRozan, he goes... You'll be shocked to know that he just took Darius Garland. Then goes Lauri Markkanen. So what do I do? Jordan Poole? What's my team looking like? I do need some threes, points. Oh, that's a Jordan Poole pick then. Let's just do that. Let's take Jordan Poole. This would easily be a Tyler Hero pick for me if I knew he was out for a week or two, but it's longer. I hope, there goes Pritchard, which I like as well. I hope to get Buzelis on the way back around. At pick 78, I'm going to say I'm doubtful of it, but there'll be Bridges. I might take a flyer on Paul George. My team is relatively injury safe, and the Jaylen Brown one's a little concerning. There goes Tyler Hero, which is a good pick as well. Like, mixing up your risk, I think, is pretty strong. Like, I wouldn't want to take Hero on a team with Embiid because it's 2 IL slots done straight away. That's not useful. Atto Magic, thinking this one through. I'm going to throw Miles Bridges into the queue. I'm sure he'll disappear off that queue in about a pick's time. Hartenstein can also go in there. There goes Onyeka Okongwu. It's a little early at 70. I do like Okongwu. I would rather that 12 or so slots later. The other guy we're going to really look at is Shaedon Sharpe, who's been pretty good so far in the preseason, so we'll just stick him into the queue. Just throwing some names in there that I'm seeing. Paul George has got to be the other one. He is sliding a lot in drafts. I do think he's going to be available relatively early on in the season. Obviously, there are going to be availability concerns as Hoodies goes for Jalen Duren on an auto pick. Appreciate you dropping out. And now it's Twitch with 2 H's. A lot of centers here. Allen, Gobert, Ayton, all available. Sarr, Hartenstein. What's my center need looking like? It's not bad. I'd probably need a little bit more. Paul George goes, and so does Don Clingan. That feels somewhat early, but again, he had 1 shot blocker. He wanted a second. Gobert still available. Alex Sarr. Now, I do want to grab Matas Buzelis. Whether I do or not, he's currently ranked 88th. He was ranked so low initially, but he has been adjusted up pretty hard. Hoodies takes Jarrett Allen. He has just dropped out, so I don't know. Eat dicks, I guess. Atto Magic. Is it Atto? Is it like a sister turnover? Who are you selecting as we are 3 picks away from mine? Walker Kessler. Okay, we're doing a run on blocks. Kessler, by the way, injured. I don't know how fake it is, but him and Markkanen and Collier and Filipowski all out for the Jazz. So just remember that when looking at the Jazz box scores, that those 4 are currently not available for whatever reason. Is Rudy Gobert an option for me? Not really. There goes Miles Bridges, so I'm going to expect that Jim Bob takes Buzelis here to annoy me. It's only 1 away, why wouldn't you? Otherwise, maybe I just step it up here for Alex Sarr. Oh, he takes Ayton. Okay. Let's take Buzelis there. All right. And now I will probably need another big man or another center with one of these next picks. But I took Buzelis at 78. A little early, some may say. I'm okay with him in that spot. If you can let him slide even better. We should start to be in... Oh, Kamara's a pretty good pick there as well. We should start to be in the territory of Shaedon Sharpe, of... who's the other one that I was thinking of? Kevin Porter, that's the other one I was thinking of. Michael Porter as well. Cam Thomas, who's had some interesting assist games. I'm not really sure if that's going to be real, but it would help. It would help his value a lot if he is going to be a bit more of an initiator. And to be fair to him, he improved that quite a bit. Here's a question for you guys watching this live. Would you take... Or Gobert and Sarr just went back-to-back. Who would you take? Would you take Sarr or Gobert? I would take Sarr. Look at that run of centers. Clingan, Allen, Kessler, Ayton, Gobert, Sarr, Hartenstein, all in this round. That's a lot of centers. And now that is going to leave me struggling a little bit. Like Zach Edey will be an option for me as a center. And then you're getting into the Cates, the Wares, the Diabates. Mikal Bridges goes at 83. That is a pretty crazy run of big men. Followed by begun by Okongwu and Duren at the start of, or the end of round 6. This dickhead took Shaedon Sharpe at 84, which I do like as a selection. Michael Porter is fine. I'm going to put Cam Johnson in the queue. Little surprised that people haven't jumped on Ware at this point. Or Claxton's the other center I can take. Although those free throws are rough. Just filling the queue with some names that I'm liking. Josh the Hitman Hart goes at 86. When you take Josh Hart, it does, and Draymond Green's the other one in this area, it puts a huge dent into your scoring. So you just got to be aware of that. Wow, I have not seen Nick Claxton go that early. I'm going to guess that's a function of every center in the world just disappearing off the board. Who do I... Bloody hell. I almost think that I just take Zach Edey here. Or do I take Ware, who will not maintain the level of usage that he's had? It is early, though, for Ware, though. It's a pick 91. It is early. It is. Derek Lively will be another late-round guy that I can get. There goes Nembhard at 88. Andy Wiggins at 89. Superman goes at 90, and now it is my pick. So I couldn't take Kelly Ware. Let's take Zach Edey there. And hope that it's not too long before he's back. I'm going to throw Reed Shepherd into my queue also. Cam Thomas, yeah, okay. Yeah, I am investigating a little bit of the Cam Thomas stuff in terms of projections and that assist rate, because it was eye-opening, to say the least. It's just to see a change in mindset for him. Cam Johnson next. The other thing interesting with the Nets is I don't think we're having Yegor Gelman start, but Ben Saraf was starting, and now we had Nolan Traore starting. So I don't really know like what they're going to plan for that. I think Cam Thomas is going to be one of these ones as well. Speaking of Thomas, he's like at the start of the season, you're going to see more from him, and then that does ramp down. We are also in a stage here where after Cam Johnson goes Norm Powell and Naz Reid, I'm a little surprised to see Christian Brown available at like 95, 96. I thought people would be jumping all over him, to be honest, but evidently not. The last 10 games of last season, by the way, for Cam Thomas, we saw him average 8 assists per 100 possessions. He was at 5.1 for the season. Now, does that mean anything? It could. After Naz Reid goes RJ Barrett at 96, which feels somewhat early. That's what's also surprising here. Bradley Beal goes at 97. Simon's 98. Why is Porter not going? Also a little surprised to see Christian Brown, as I said, but Ben Mathurin available. And John Collins. If I need the rebounds, maybe Johnny is what we're looking at here. There goes Mathurin at 99. Draymond, again, big hit to your points at 100. CJ goes. What do I do here? I think I'm going to get like a Cade or a Lively next round. This is... Oh man, there's a lot here. Is it John Collins? Let's do Kevin Porter. I'm surprised to have that many options available to me that I liked at that spot. I didn't even include like Toby Harris there either. After Kevin Porter goes Devin Vassell, who I do like. I just think it's pretty tough to get upside out of him, given the team. I'm going to throw Ace Bailey in my queue just because I want to hear the sound if someone takes him. But the one thing I've impressed about Bailey the first 2 games is the efficiency. Been great. He's getting a lot of glazing, but he's been great. Also, that team's got no one in it at the moment. But again, great. Eason, love the pick there at 104 from you, Russ. Again, there is always a surprise in a draft. Like a few guys like John Collins and Christian Brown, why are they... sometimes you'll see them in the 80s. I don't really know. Like Jaden Ivey I saw go in the 80s or 90s the other day. Like, you get a lot of it. That's why it can be really hard. Like, especially if I'm like, you're going to follow, well, I'm picking at 8, I'm going to follow what Josh does. You're going to get to round 6, and it's going to be a massive pool of players available that are different. It's completely different. Christian Brown at 106, Jaden Ivey at 105, Drew Holiday at 107. Surely this is John Collins soon. Like, surely we're in Collins territory. Like, he's not going to get back to me, is he? There goes Pajemski, who I am very, very worried about at the moment. I'm worried about Moses Moody starting over him. I am worried about, like, Kerr using 1 million bench players. Pajemski and Keontae George at 109. I'm going to be very careful about which George it is. There goes John Collins, which is a beautiful pick from you at 110. Yeah, which K George are we drafting? Someone will take D'Angelo Russell in this round, I am pretty sure. And I am pretty sure I won't love it, would be my guess. Bob Hawk Tour, ready to make his pick after getting that nice little Christian Brown snag. Mitchie Rob, 111. Also, why is Reed Shepherd? Malik Monk is not starting, guys. I'm very confident of this. He's not starting. I don't see the value of him here. Maybe 2 rounds later, I don't get it here. This is like Reed Shepherd zone. It's, if you want safety, it's Tobias Harris. What about Derek Lively, Neemias Queta. Luka Garza's looked all right in Boston too. The big Ragu, Dante DiVincenzo goes. So I've got names here. Like, Shepherd is my priority, I think. Or do I just get the center? Where's Lively's ADP? Is it 116 on Yahoo? There goes Suggs, who I definitely wasn't caring about. What's Lively's ADP here? 125. What's my next pick? 126. Let's do Reed, and then let's hope we get Lively on the way back around. That's Reed Shepherd. But like, Santi Aldama should have gone by now. Toby Harris should have gone by now. Aaron Neesmith going at 116. These are just... this is not bad. Like, these are just interesting decisions that people are making. And that's cool. I love this. Bobby Portis should also be starting to be considered at this stage. And Keegan Murray too, although he did hurt his thumb yesterday. I think he's going to be okay. But I think he'll be okay. We'll see. Herbert Jones. Jaden McDaniels. I like the Herb pick. The Jaden one is okay. I think Keegan does need to start going here. Aaron Gordon is another one to go. This is the center. What am I doing? Isaiah Jackson. Come on. What are we doing? There goes D'Angelo Russell. I'll put Jay Huff in there just in case. So we've got a range of centers that I can take. Lively. So I didn't even put Cater in. There goes Keegan. We had a number of centers. Steph Castle goes at 11. Yeah, cool. You're going to have that one. I'm good with that. Don't care about that in the slightest. Because remember, my other center is Zach Edey, so I do need another one. So it's probably Isaiah. I'll put him up there with Lively. I'll put Huff up there. Aldama just continuing to slide. It's real value. Aaron Gordon's good value here. A weird spot of the draft where I'm just like, I like a lot of guys, and that's not normally what you say at this point. There goes Santi Aldama on the auto draft. I'm going to put DeAndre Hunter into the queue. So Aldama's gone. So I'm going to get one of Lively, Jackson, Huff, or Cater. I think I want Jackson more than Lively, although Lively is possibly a little safer. Possibly, but maybe not. Like, Lively gets hurt a lot. Jay Huff before Isaiah Jackson. Interesting. Aaron Gordon. Let's do Isaiah. And then maybe one of Lively Cater flip back. But I do want, I would like a DeAndre Hunter in that next round, in round 13. There goes Neemias Queta. So the center flyers are going. Diabate is going to be the other one, because it does look like that he will be the starter. Plumlee might be the backup, and the big cock, Ryan Kalkbrenner, will be out of the rotation until later in the season, and then I think he will take over. But we probably can't wait for that, can we? Which is really frustrating, because I think Kalkbrenner by far is the best fantasy option. I think he's going to be the best player out of this group. I just think they're going to be very annoying. The other thing I'd watch for on the Hornets is what do they want out of Trey Mann. So for deeper leagues, Mann should be able to, and that's why I don't really get why Colin Sexton and Spencer Dinwiddie are there. As long as Charles Lee doesn't want to use those guys too much, I would be very worried about John Kuminga, who just went there at 129. I guess you're hoping for a trade. The Golden State Warriors are not going to be prioritizing him, I'm guessing. I'd be quite concerned. It is a little surprising to me that Filipowski hasn't gone yet. That's a little surprising. Zach Ricochet in round 11. Okay. I'm all for taking flyers on guys. No problem at all. But I just didn't expect that he was going to go there. Adem Bona. Almost a lock to start on opening night, and then you probably drop him. If you want to make sure you get him, you take him here. I don't really care that it's round 11 and theoretically, well, he should be in your last round. It doesn't matter. Once you are basically in round 11, they're all your last round. Just do what you want. Grab who you want. Lively goes. Damn you. Bub Carrington. Well, that's one that I'm not super into. You absolute dick brain. DeAndre Hunter goes. I'm going to throw the Dominatrix Edge come into the queue. Pippen and Grimy as well. There goes Cam Whitmore. This is upside flyer stuff. Am I going to be the one who takes Ace Bailey? I don't want to, because I realistically do not buy that level of efficiency, like, at all. But it's 2 games, man, and it happened. Like, it's been good. So, I don't know, man. After Jabari Smith goes Kaysen Wallace. Oh, seriously, what do I do here? Dennis Schroeder. I got Oubre, Pippen, Grimes, Bailey. You know what? We're gonna have fun in the summer here. Let's take Ace Bailey. Am I getting? Okay, it is preseason, and he will undoubtedly have a bad game, and it will not be mentioned by any highlighter aggregator accounts. But it's not just that he's scored so efficiently. He just looks better. And I don't know how to fully encapsulate that. The next 2 picks that went after Bailey actually like more. Hendricks and Oubre. I should have just done it, but I wanted to do the Bailey pick just so I could have a bit of a discussion on him. How high would you go on Ace? Like, if I'm in a points league, that is an easy pick for Ace Bailey. Ace Bailey I would take at the start of round 11, maybe end of round 10 in a points league, just to see what happens. Category League is going to be a little bit more concerning because of the below-average contributions. And you'll notice my team is incredibly young. If I go through my team to look at the guys on it, which is, of course, what I'm going to do, there's, like, these guys are just... I'm going to bring it up on my draft tracker screen. After Oubre goes Jovic and Filipowski. I want to bring up their ages because it's a really young squad, which that can lead to, at times, more inconsistency. But it also usually leads to more upside, more higher-end outcomes. So, 24, 25, 24, 21, 29, which is Jaylen Brown, 24, 29, which is Zubats, 26, 25, 21, 24, 19. So our oldest player is Jaylen Brown. Davion Mitchell, after Filipowski goes Gafford at the end of round 12, followed by Mitchell on the turn, Colin Sexton, 13, not interested, Jeremy Grant in the next pick, not interested at 147. Don't really care for that much. Keyshawn George is available. I will say this. If you're playing in a deeper league, Locked On Fantasy Basketball Bowl, and you're going 18 rounds, someone like Jeremy Grant has appeal. Right? Because you don't have waiver wire churning that's really available to you. As Timothy John McConnell goes, Jim Bob, you know that he's out, yeah? Absolutely not worth that pick. So what do I do here? I don't know what I do here. What do I do here? Keyshawn. I'll take Keyshawn George. I heavily debated Diabate there and Grimes. There's just a lot of different options here. I don't think that Dylan Harper's going to... Hey, the other thing to watch... Sorry to sidetrack myself, is Jalen Wells has looked pretty good. I really don't buy into it, but he's looked good. So let's watch that. Keyshawn George, I am pretty certain he's going to shoot better than last season, and I hope they give him a starting job. I'm not 100% convinced on that. Because, again, if it's Bilal, Chris, CJ, Bub, and Saar, then where? But we will find out. And I think that's going to be one of those ones that ramps as the season goes on. Ayo Dosunmu at 151. I don't get the point of it. I don't see the upside in Ayo. He's got Herta, Okoro, all just battling him for minutes at the moment. I don't see it. I would much rather a Grimes or a Keon Ellis goes next. Isaiah Collier goes next. By the way, if you are considering Lonzo Ball, do not. He's barely playing. He's limited to 20 minutes and Jalen Tyson starting ahead of him. The only time that Lonzo was going to have value was with Strus and Garland out if he was going to start, and he's not, so don't worry about Lonzo Ball. If any of you are, which I don't think that you are, but if you are, don't. After Collier goes Pippen, then Horford. I imagine Ty Jerome goes next, even though that little run of people wanting to take those Morant replacements is probably done, given the absences or the fact that Thingo is back. Will be back opening night. The other one who's interesting in Chicago at the moment is Trey Jones. Now, he's starting with Kobe White out, and he won't. But if you think that White might miss the beginning of the season, taking someone like Trey Jones in this round, I'm going to stick him here just again for illustration's sake. Taking Trey Jones here and you get a week out of him to start, fine. Really good. Grimes goes next. Diabate is Chris Paul. I guess you are just getting desperate for assists. That's why I took Collier and Paul, but they take so much off the table. I don't really get that. I'm also a little surprised that Edgecombe is available. I'm going to take Diabate if available. Otherwise, I might take Trey Jones just as that illustration of what I just said. We've also seen very good Wendell Carter games, which is great. I like Wendell Carter as a player. I think he's consistently underrated. The people just get rid of him. It's got to be Goga. I don't believe that. But, of course, Diabate went. On the auto pick as well, Bryce Sensible. Ooh, I like that one. Let's do Trey Jones. All right. Just for the reasons that I stated. But other options you could easily go with it. Bilal, PJ, Washington, VJ, Edgecombe. Who else do I have in this area? Grayson Allen, Sam Hauser, Chris Boucher should be picked around here too. Kalkbrenner, I would like it, but I'm a little sour on it. Wendell Carter, again, looked good in preseason. I'm somewhat agnostic to the value of that long term. Ryan Dunn's not doing anything in Phoenix at the moment, so I wouldn't be too worried about him. Who are some other names? Ooh, one of the names to watch is old mate Josh Minot. An absolute fantasy stud if he gets minutes. PJ Washington, yeah, whatever, man. Klay Thompson, absolutely no interest in that pick. Who was the last one? DeJounte Murray. Yep, whatever. Cool. So, who got left that should have been drafted in my mind? I think Bilal probably should have been picked. Grayson Allen's a touch-and-go one. I think Boucher, you take the flyer on it to see what they're going to do with it. You look at Kevin Huerter, maybe. VJ Edgecombe as an upside pick is absolutely someone that you can look at here. But overall, I think that the way that this was drafted was pretty strong. I guess Dylan Harper, maybe you take a look in case with old mate Fox out to begin the season, that it's not Champagne and it is Harper that moves into that starting lineup. And if it is Harper that moves into the starting lineup, I wonder what they do when Fox returns. It would be intriguing. So that is the end of that draft. I ended up 6th in the projected standings. It was pick 1 at number 1, Free Palestine, then Sajan at number 2, Bob Hawk 2 at 3, Supersonic OKC in 4, Tune Squad in 5. And then me, Russ, Atto, Barry, Hoodies, Twitch, and Jim Bob Dingus down at the bottom of the standings. But of course, these standings are all incredibly close because we look at my projected standings and the advanced standings that we use about probabilities and that sort of stuff. When it looks at my matchups against teams, it has me 4.5 categories win, 4.5 categories loss against 4 teams. A 4.6 versus 4.4, 4.3, 4.7, 4.3, 4.7, 4.4, 4.6. It's all close. So don't get wrapped up in projected standings. How do you manage the season? How much luck do you have? Do you hit on guys? How do you work your schedule to maximize what you're doing based on your league's individual settings? That is how the success comes. Subscribe, thumb up, leave comments, and if you are on the YouTube mobile app, give it the hype down below, guys. We are done here. Another mock will come today. Don't know when. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. See ya.